Most people don't fail at online business because they're lazy, not smart enough, or not committed. They fail because A, they picked the wrong business model for them, or also often B, they weren't consistent with their activities, or even just gave up after a very short period of time. Are you sitting in front of a pile full of tasks for your business, family, household, and everything else to do, and long for that to go away? The trick is creating passive income. Of course, there's some work behind the passive part, but working 20% compared to 120 completely turned around how I enjoy life today. Great to have you here. Are you ready to move the needle, work less, and earn more? Grab your latest craft project and your favorite drink. Let's stitch together purpose, profit, and peace to create the life we've long been wanting. Welcome back to the podcast, friend. I hope you had a nice past week. Maybe doing some Christmas shopping or visiting Christmas markets, watching a motorcycle parade with Santas on Harleys, maybe? I did. Some Santas were even water skiing in winter on the freezing cold Rhine River in Switzerland. On December 6th, it's Samichlaus Day in parts of Europe. He comes with his black-dressed helper to the small children and take tally of how good they were in the past year, or not. Then they get a bag of nuts and mandarins, maybe some chocolate with that, and a lesson on what to do better in the next year. I could use some input like that, mainly on my business topics, that is. If you listened to last week's episode about the top 5 ways people make money online, you might be feeling two things at the same time. On one hand, wow, there really are a lot of options. And on the other hand, okay, but how do I not mess this up? Today, the topic is about why most people pick the wrong online business and how to avoid it. This is something that we don't really talk much about. Most people don't fail at online business because they're lazy, not smart enough, or not committed. They fail because A, they picked the wrong business model for them, or also often B, they weren't consistent with their activities, or even just gave up after a very short period of time. And that can go back to the choice of the model, too. You lose dedication and interest if it's not the right one for you. Many don't realize they haven't switched their mindset from employment mindset to entrepreneur mindset. If we think of it like a job and not realizing having a business takes time to sow and build, you quickly start thinking it's not working because the money isn't rolling in at first. But the beginning is the sowing phase. Then you wait a while, continuing to sow and learn and repeat. Then, reaping the big harvest comes a bit later. And that can be the big aha moment when you see how much you could earn by starting well, hanging in there, and sowing for a large harvest. And today, I want to talk about why that happens. Not to discourage you, but to help you avoid unnecessary frustration, wasted time, and disappointment. Because choosing the wrong model doesn't just slow you down. It can make you believe the lie that you are the problem. And you might not be. But you must be honest with yourself and be coachable by mentors who help you with that needed switch. So mistake number 1, choosing based on hype, not reality. One of the biggest reasons people pick the wrong online business is because they chose based on hype. They see the big income screenshots, the passive income while you sleep headlines, or someone their age saying, if I can do this, you can. And your thinking becomes, this one must be the one. But what's often missing is context. You don't see how long that person worked before it clicked, how much time they put in up front to learn and optimize, what support system they had, or how well the model fits their personality. Some models reward fast action. This shouldn't be a must. There should not be pressure. But it certainly is better to keep momentum up, to keep that plane up in the air rather than circling around on the runway in slow motion. They reward high tolerance for risk. A certain amount is always there. Some reward constant testing and failing. But let me be clear, I'm not one of those who believe failing is a bad thing. If you believe that FAIL stands for first attempt in learning, Then you try again and take the learnings to improve and optimize your processes. Remember, Edison didn't fail 10,000 times before the light bulb finally worked. He said he learned 9,999 ways how not to do it. And then, success. The quicker we go through the learning, the quicker the success can come. Other models reward patience, consistency, which is always needed, teaching or guiding others. This helps us to learn it even deeper. And long-term thinking. It's often the better result than short-term thinking. Neither of these groups is like the best, but not every model fits every person, and hype doesn't tell you that. But knowing what else is out there will help you choose the one that fits you the best for your life. And I do believe it will be easier to stick with it and not give up. When you know the other options were not as close as the one you chose after doing proper evaluation up front. Another mistake is ignoring personality and energy. Choosing a business model that fights your natural wiring. For example, if you hate being on camera but choose a video-heavy model, or if you love creating quietly but pick something that requires constant selling, or if you crave structure but jump into something with zero guidance, and the last one, if you're already burned out but choose a hustle-heavy model. At first, people push through with willpower, and for a little while, that works. But only for a little while. Willpower isn't sustainable. Eventually, the business starts to feel heavy and draining, maybe even annoying, or like one more thing on an already full plate. And then comes the thought, maybe online business, generally, just isn't for me. When really the problem wasn't the online business, it was misalignment. Mistake number 3, underestimating time, support, and consistency. This one is huge. Many people pick a business model without honestly looking at 1, how much time they actually have, number 2, how much decision-making they want to do, and number 3, how much learning curve they can handle alone. Think about it. Have you ever considered asking yourself these? Some models require building everything from scratch, figuring out tools, tech, funnels, systems, or making consistent decisions with no feedback. That can be exciting or completely overwhelming, especially if you're coming from a corporate job, or you're juggling family, you're navigating health burnout or menopause with brain fog, or you simply don't want to reinvent the wheel. That was me in my phase of life I was at. A lack of support and structure is one of the quietest reasons people quit. Not because they aren't capable, but because they feel alone. And consistency is hard when you feel lost. This reminds me so much of gardening. And I really like hearing metaphors, helps me to let it stick. Imagine planting seeds in one corner of your garden. You water them for a week, maybe 2, nothing shows up yet. Then you walk over to another corner and think, maybe this soil is better. You plant new seeds there, water those for a week. Then you see a neighbor's garden thriving and think, oh, those seeds must be the secret. So you pull everything out and again start over. After a while, you're exhausted. Not because seeds don't grow, but because nothing was ever given enough time to take root. Most people don't fail because the systems don't work. They fail because they never stayed long enough to see what working actually looks like. Mistake number 4, confusing passive with effort-free. Let's gently clear something up. Passive income does not mean no effort, no learning, or no showing up. It means effort now, leverage later. Many people choose a business thinking, once this is set up, I won't have to do much. But every model has a build phase. When people aren't prepared for that build phase, they feel disappointed and quit often right before momentum actually starts. The issue isn't the model, it's the expectation. And mistake number 5, how to avoid picking the wrong business. So how do you avoid all of this? Here are a few grounding questions to ask before choosing. Number 1, what do I want more of in my life right now? Time, money, flexibility, meaning and purpose. Number 2, how much structure do I need to stay consistent? Number 3, do I want to create from scratch or plug into something proven? Number 4, do I enjoy teaching, sharing, or guiding others? And number 5, how much uncertainty am I willing to sit with? There's no best online business. There's only the best fit for you in this season in your life and what you're interested in. You're allowed to choose something that supports who you are now, but also for the person you want to become. Don't let who you think you should be make the decision for you. So in summary, if there's one thing I hope you take away from this today, it's if an online business didn't work for you in the past, that does not mean you failed, like completely lost, but you certainly learned something. What it could mean, the model didn't match your life, your energy, or your needs at that time. And that's something you can learn from, not judge yourself for. In the next episode, we'll talk about how to choose the right online business for your season of life, and I'll help you bring clarity to what actually fits you. Until then, be kind to yourself. You're not behind, you're learning, and learning is part of building anything meaningful. And if you're just listening to this and thinking, I just want something I can commit to long term without constantly reinventing everything, that's exactly why I chose the business system I run today. Not because it was all flashy and trendy, but because it allowed me to stay consistent, supported, focused. It was set up, it was ready for me, without chasing the next shiny idea every few months. You don't need to decide anything today. Just know there are models designed for long-term consistency, not constant hustle. If this helped you or inspired you in any way, it would help me a lot if you shared this episode with a friend. And if you want to learn more about my online business model, what I call partner marketing, and it's a complete business ready to go, head to the show notes for the link to start exploring what it's about. The website go.vikija.info gets you started with the first information. Reach out in whichever way you want. We could even have a chat over knitting. I'm just saying.